Well, hello, and welcome back, subscribblers and new viewers, to another Sunday speed paint and an absolutely self-indulgent video today. Although I couldn't fit the enormous amount of characters that I wanted to into this illustration, I still chose as many of my favorite characters for the Color Wheel Challenge as I could possibly fit, and of course, because these are my favorite characters, I am going to talk about each of them individually. So sit back and buckle up, and let's start off with the first character for the color red. There are many characters for this color, but the one that stuck out for me and is one of my childhood favorites is Todd from the Fox and the Hound movie. I specifically remember when I was younger watching this and thinking it was so fun to just watch a fox and a hound, because out of all of the nature documentary movies that I'd seen, I was fascinated by the cartoonized version of Todd, which was just this rambunctious little fox who was so adorable, running around and befriending a hound. Now, I was young and I didn't actually understand what bloodhounds actually do to foxes, and the hunter, Ammo Slade, I still don't remember if that's exactly how you say his name, and of course the neighbor Widow Tweed, which is her actual name according to the website when I looked it up. But I also found Big Mama, that's her name, the owl, to be super sweet and caring, and just all of the animals of the forest just all working together, and for me as a kid that was just magical, more magical than any Disney princess. And that was my cup of tea, was just nature. And over the story, the fact that Todd was like me. I will always see my friends as my friends all the way up until the last day that I see them, because I know that now people change over time, and they go off on their own journeys. They live, they have jobs they have to do, and to a certain degree, Copper had to do their job. They were a fox hunter. After a certain point, they couldn't keep saving their best friend, because even though they were best friends, there was a certain fine line of also protecting his mentor, Chief, where on the cliffside, I remember seeing that, and I thought Chief died until we saw that he had, like, a cast on his leg, so that was a bit of a relief. But it's sad, but it's also wholesome, because towards the end, Todd does still find Vixie, which is not where I got the name of my character, Vixie. It's just a name for the female fox, but I just think it's super sweet that the life carries on, and they still go off, and even though they probably won't see each other, they were best friends, and I like that about that character in the stories. Next one is another one that gets me gushing and crying, is Tigress from Kung Fu Panda. And also, yes, you will be seeing a theme of animal-based and anthropomorphic, besides a couple of characters that fall in an unusual category. But these movies always captivated me, and my inner child just screams for joy whenever I see these characters, so getting to draw some fan art for them, it makes me happy. Tigress, I think, is actually a wonderful character, and I know that everyone is always excited about Po because he is the dragon warrior and all, but I think the story for Tigress actually adds a bit more to it, because she wanted to be. She trained her whole life, but she also has, I think, what's known as a character foil with Tai Lung, which is what I think could have happened to her. It kind of shows reflections and contrasts between the characters, and I do also like the fact that throughout each of the movies and other side shows, some are better than others, but overall, Tigress, she grows as a person around all of the friends that she's made and among the other Furious Five, and gets to learn a bit of self-humbling and other things like that with all of her friends and others around the villages and everything. And even when facing off against the big bad Tai Lung, still saying that, like, Po is deserving of this title, and although I'm not 100% sure if it's canon or if it's just hints that I pick up on whether they're supposed to be best friends or romantic interests, I still think it's absolutely adorable in some of the things. Like, I think in Kung Fu Panda 3, there's just a teeny weeny bit of, like, a jealous moment going on when Po has, I forget her name, crushing on them, and Tigress and Po seem to have little funny but cute bantering moments back and forth with each other that could just be a best friend kind of thing. I'm not sure, but either way, I think it's super adorable, and overall, Tigress is one of my favorite female action-y characters that's not overdoing it. She's humble, she's kind, she's strong, and she's put in so much dedication and training, and I definitely can feel for her when you try to talk to your mentor and say that you're doing everything you can and being told it's still not enough, but then your teacher learns from you. The next character that we have is Yellow, and one of my favorite and longest standing fan characters is Miles Prower Tails from Sonic. Sonic's best friend, and I have seen Tails in many video games, but weirdly enough, the first introduction, I think it's called Sonic R, which is on the PC, where I was just running around and messing about, exploring the land, because although you can do the races, I think you could actually freely explore the map. And then also Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, which were my favorite games, was where I got to find my favorite song for Tails, because I think that the disc came with bonus music. For obvious reasons, I can't play the song, but I do enjoy Tails' theme song in those games. It's just super fun, and I can definitely relate to Tails is just trying their best and kind of being an underdog. I don't really know why, and yes, this is the second Fox for this video, but I can't help it. There's something about these characters that instead of just being sly and sneaky or sexy, there's personality to all of these characters, and I love it. The next character that we have for Green is actually Beast Boy, another one of my childhood favorites, and before I go any further,
I will fight you in the comments section if I see a single one of you say that the Teen Titans Go version is superior, and especially if one of you heathens tries to pull a
I know that character from Fortnite.
I will not hesitate to yeet you into the pits of hell. Sacrifice your body and soul to the Fox Club.
Sorry about that. Where were we? Oh yes. Back to the Teen Titans Cartoon Network Beast Boy, the one that I know them best for, and is hands down one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows that taught me a lot of lessons and also made me a fan of Robin and a whole bunch of other of the Teen Titans cast of characters. Specifically, I think it's super adorable that Raven and Beast Boy's relationship, I come to find out in some of the comics, if not all of the canon of Beast Boy, I'm not 100% sure, that they end up dating and then getting married, which I think is super sweet. And also, I still feel sad about it to this day. The biggest betrayal was Terra. She made me cry so very much, but overall, I actually really enjoy the show, and Beast Boy will hands down be my favorite because he's not only goofy, but he is, like, hard, battle-ready, trained, and serious when he needs to be. Next, we have Cyan. And, of course, this has to be on this list, if it hadn't been already. Rainbow Dash from My Little Pony Generation 4. I love this show, and my roommate and best friend, who's like a sister to me, we used to always say that so-and-so was acting like these characters, and it was really weird as the seasons went on that some of the troubles that we were having, we could actually look back to some of these episodes for lessons that humbled us. Applejack's relationship with Rainbow Dash was one of the main ones that me and my roommate could attribute ourselves to, and occasionally, because of how quiet I was, I would be seen as Fluttershy, because, yeah, I am quiet and I'm working on it. In person, I jump at the slightest startlement, but at the same time, I think I also have more of an adventurous and loyal side like Rainbow Dash does. Overall, Rainbow Dash's character may come across as cocky and selfish, but when you actually, like, watch the whole show throughout, sure, she has her ups and downs, and that's one thing that I can say is she is a good, flawed character to overcome these obstacles, and just like the show itself pointed out, these characters sometimes can't overcome their obstacles overnight and fix it perfectly. Some stuff comes back to haunt you, and I think that that's really something important to hold on to, and that's why I enjoy the My Little Pony Generation 4, and before anyone says it, I'm indifferent to the next generation, and I don't even know if I'll enjoy these characters because of the direction they're going, so of course G4 is going to stay in my hearts, and Rainbow Dash is just overall a fun character that I love drawing. The next character we have is Blue, and Lapis Lazuli from Steven Universe had to go on here because I'd already drawn Tails, and I was debating drawing Sonic on here, but I wanted to try to space out the characters from all different kinds of shows and games. And Lapis Lazuli is one of those characters that me and my roommate, again, we watched this show quite a lot, and our relationship was almost like my friend sometimes would have some bits and bobs like how Lapis did, and I would definitely be paired up. I would be bouncing about and trying to show them all kinds of weird, wacky, cool inventions, and over time it would have taken a lot to warm up to my friend, so that's why I think that Lapis Lazuli is one of my favorites, but also just in general, in the show, she's a character who had been through quite a lot of ordeals, and I can understand why at first she's indifferent, except for a few hiccups where I don't understand why. I mean, sure, it's been thousands of years since she's seen them, but Bismuth is the one who poofed her in the war and put her through the most hecticness besides Jasper's forced fusion stress, but still, I didn't understand how they were perfectly fine with being practically besties, and also I think it's super adorable that they have the pet pumpkin and the barn, and everything is just, overall, it's nice to see the character progression. Next we have Magenta, or Purple, and I don't think I've seen hardly anybody talk about this show nowadays, but I still love this show. To this day, it's one of my other favorite Cartoon Network shows just because of the silly shenanigans. Chowder. From Chowder on Cartoon Network. Now, I will also address this. This show was very sus. They really liked to show off them buns and other jokes, and Panini, I'm pretty sure, is just a yandere for Chowder. But at the same time, somehow it's cute and funny and wholesome, because I don't necessarily think that Panini would go as far as to hold Chowder hostage. And yes, I did use the patterns for this because I was not going to draw all of those spirals and swirls. And of course, because Chowder is mainly about food stuff, really weird wacky food, for some reason I just decided to put some cookie dough on a spoon and Chowder happily holding it, but I just really enjoy all the characters, and yes, of course, Schnitzel is one of my other favorite characters, but I also have to note in here, I definitely blame the Cloud Kimchi for my farts humor. This show, I think, is where my I will laugh at burps and fart jokes came from.
Kimchi? No! Thanks for the food, Kimchi's mom and dad.
But I still love the show regardless. And the last color we have on the color wheel is pink. We have Majin Buu for this one from Dragon Ball. Now, I actually got introduced to Dragon Ball because of my husband, and I know a fair amount of it. However, I don't know enough without it taking an hour long, so I'm going to pass the microphone over to my husband for him to explain how we get to this Majin Buu form.
So going in order of appearance, you first have Fat Buu, and then Fat Buu splits, and you get Innocent Fat Buu, and you get Grey Buu, or Evil Buu, and he's just kind of like an emaciated thing. He then absorbs Innocent Fat Buu and becomes Super Buu, who's really jacked, looks like a gym bro. He goes on and absorbs Piccolo, and you get Piccolo absorbed, then he absorbs Gotenks, and you get Gotenks absorbed, and then he absorbs Gohan, and you get Gohan absorbed. Then Goku and Vegeta yank all of them out, and he goes back to being he's OG Buu, who's like this tiny little gargling fetus thing called Kid Buu. These aren't the like official names, these are sort of just like the community names. For some reason, like Bandai actually started keeping those names, which is kind of cute, I think, in a weird way. It's a little love letter back to the community. Although apparently in recent years they've tried to change the names back. So you get now Kid Buu's like Pure Buu.
Thank you for that, honey. Out of all of the Dragon Ball Z villains, I'm not 100% sure why Buu is my favorite when one of my biggest fears is being eaten. I'm not saying the actual word, you know what I'm talking about, but at the same time, it's better than what Cell did to people. He is the number one that I fear, and that's why he isn't on this list, and why Majin Buu is, because I love the fella. He is a crazy but sweet character. Thank you all so very much for making it to the end of today's video. It means the world to me. As the Subscribblers army gets closer to 1,000 Subscribblers, I am making a special video for when we reach 1,000. But also, don't forget to comment which of these is your favorite, and if you'd like to see me draw any more fan artwork, I have tons of other things that I didn't manage to squeeze into this video planned for future videos, so thank you all so very much once again for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video. And of course, I'd like to give a huge thank you to my wonderful patrons, including Frankie Jr. 13. Hold it right there, don't click off this video just yet. Why not check out some playlists of my videos while you wait for the next upload, and if you'd like to support my works and see more, click that link card down below. Patreon exclusive rewards for the Fennec Fox tier includes access to secret artwork, Arctic Foxes get shoutouts at the end of my videos, and early access to art and videos. Red Foxes have the opportunity to be featured when I need background characters or a commission instead. Subscribe for free if you have not already to join the Subscribblers squad, and tag me in some of that artwork and I'll share it in the Subscribblers gallery. Stay possum, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.